If you want to have more fun soloing on the guitar, follow these 3 steps. Step 1, grab your guitar and learn this movable shape. Step 2, turn on a blues rock backing track. Step 3, create your own blues rock guitar solos. Alright, step 1, let's learn this movable shape. This is a visual tool that many pros use. We'll start here with the major sound. In the key of A, and I have the root, the home bass note, colored in red here. So important. This is your anchor. This is your pivot point. And your first finger with the major sound would be right here. You hear it called House of Blues box, BB box, different blues boxes. But this is just, I just look at it as a great tool, a movable shape. So we have the major sound here. If we move this down 2 frets, we have the minor sound, the minor pentatonic. Now it shifts to where this anchor point for this box is right here. The 3rd finger on the colored in red there is your home bass note, the A note. If you remember for the major, it's your first finger pivot point. But now we shift down 2 frets and your 3rd finger. This is important. You got that minor sound there, major sound. I'll break down these licks coming up soon that go as they go in context with this backing track. So we have those 2. If we shift this down here, where the A note is here, we have another box. And now the A note, the home bass note, the pivot point is on the E string, but I put my finger back on here. I'm looking at that major sound here. And then as I get into breaking these down, this minor pentatonic, the A minor pentatonic, ties right into this. This is what we're most familiar with, and I'll show you how these boxes and can move in different areas, but this will tie right into the A minor pentatonic. You have that major and minor sound is what really creates the blues rock sound that we all know and love. So we have the 3 boxes. That is a great tool. Many pros use this. We're looking at the key of A for this video today. All these ideas are movable if you shift this root, the home bass note, to whatever key. Moving on to step 2, just choosing a backing track. I'm using this classic groove here, Clapton style, but we're looking at a major A7 sound here. So this major minor back and forth blues rock sound just fits perfectly over this. And this is just a 1-chord vamp with this track. You know, it changes, and I'll give you the link to this backing track, and does have chord changes in it. But this solo break is just A or A7. Just that simple vamp there that stays on A, but you can practice these concepts. All right, step 3, the fun stuff. Using this movable shape can help you create solos without thinking too much, and that's good for me. Check out this demo. As you saw, I'm really mixing the major and minor sound. I know some of you are going to say, well, this note isn't in the major pentatonic, and it's not. It would be the C sharp note. But I'm not talking about just pentatonic. I'm talking about the major sound, and this D note is part of that major sound. So we just hold that box together. So I'm going to show you some licks in each one of these box shapes, and they just move right along. You can just play a phrase, move to the next box, play another phrase, move to the next box. Real simple, sliding up to 11 on the G string, and then hitting the home bass note here. It's the 10th fret of the B string. Real simple, but when you go with the track, the next one goes to that minor sound there. So you go to the 10th fret of the E string, slight bend, release, and then you pull off from 10 to 8, back to that home bass note, the 10th fret of the B string. Then moving on to this other box. So we're looking at the box. You do just a quarter bend. You're trying to reach this note here. So 7, quarter bend, 5, 7, 5 on the G, 2 hits there. Just get to that another home bass note there in the 7th fret of the D string, an A note. When you bend this slightly here in the 5th fret of the G string, you're hinting at this note here. But it sounds bluesy to bend it. And then we're going to a lick here in the A minor pentatonic, but it just fits right through this. So full bend again, 5 on the B, 5 on the E. It does go back to that 5 on the B. 8, bend and release on 7 there. Slight bend. One more time. Then we can connect the shapes like this. Just we're parking our fingers on the G and B strings. The first one's in this minor sound here. 9 with your second finger. 8 with your first finger on the B string. And you just keep that shape, but slide up 2 frets to the major sound and go back and forth. So you really then go back to that, similar to the very first lick that we did. Now check out this one. So full bend on 12 of the B string. Then on the E string, 10, 11, 12. Slight bend on 12, hitting 12. Back to 10 on the B, and then 11 on the G, back to that home bass note. And then we could walk down each shape. Slight bend on 12, back to 10, 11 on the G. Now we're going to slide from 10 to 8 on the B, hitting 9 on the G. And then sliding from 8 to 5 on the B string. And then back to 7 on the G. Slow. And then we go back to that lick that we already did. Just finish it off like that. This is a simple, fun way to solo, but you're staying connected. You have these anchor points. And you don't need a backing track to practice this. This will work over just a blues shuffle, let's say an A. All these licks just work with an A major or A7 type of blues rock track. This just flows right through these little shapes. Grab onto a common box shape, and you can. They're movable. They're all movable in any key. This really blew my mind when someone showed me this. It was so simple, and I just wasn't aware of it. And I hope you got that light bulb moment today where you said, wow, this is sitting right here all this time, because this is fun. This is fun soloing. Thanks again for hanging out with me. Always have a blast, and I hope to see you soon.